Good afternoon, everyone. We are super excited to be going live with OnTarget next week. We want to make sure that all of you have had a chance to log in, confirm your username and password, create your own new password, and most importantly, double check that your scheduled information is correct. I'm going to show you how to do that both on the desktop and the mobile app so that you know exactly what to look for when you log into OnTarget this weekend. So when you first log in, hopefully you've been through training or you've watched the videos, you know we default to the dashboard. What I want you to do is come down to the scheduling menu and click Show All. From here, it's going to show you time beginning on March the 9th. So please ignore these. Your schedule should begin with March the 9th. This is our go live date. Now, depending on your client's authorization from their insurance company, that authorization may stop on the 31st of March, or it may go further into the future. What's important for you to confirm is the service and the duration on these events. So based on the authorization, we made our best guess to evenly distribute the units or the time across the week so that we were maximizing what the insurance company will cover. So for example, this client gets an hour a day because their insurance company gives them 7 hours a week. Now, if that is not your typical schedule or cadence and you don't work an hour every day or you don't evenly distribute that time across every day of the week, that is perfectly okay. We can correct that, but we need you to help us understand what are the more common, more consistent days and times that you work with your client. The other thing I want you to check on is the specific service. So this shows me that I am scheduled to provide PCS to this client starting on March the 9th. Now, if I were a live-in caregiver and I were exempt from the EVV legislation, meaning I do not have to clock in and clock out because I live in the same home as my client, and we are working on your attestation paperwork or you've already completed that, we need to update this schedule. Right now, if I tried to document against this EVV service, it's going to require that I clock in and clock out. So if you are exempt because you are a live-in caregiver, you would see PCS non-EVV T1019. So it's really important that everyone go in, look at their schedules starting on Monday the 9th, confirm if the service is appropriate based on your exemption status with electronic visit verification, and that you help us validate how you want those units or those hours spread throughout the week. Okay, so very quickly, I want to show you what this looks like on the mobile app because it is a little different. Let me share my screen here. Bear with me just 1 second. Okay, so on the mobile app, if you log into OnTarget, you're going to put in your username and password and click login. The system will default to the schedule, but it's really important that you understand by default, see where it says the 27th of February through March the 9th, it's only going to show me 3 days into the future. Today is March the 6th. So for you to look at your schedule for next week, I want you to click on this calendar icon here in the corner, and then it will bring up the full month of March. So you can select, for example, the 8th through the 21st. If we want to look at the next 2 weeks, you could just do the 8th through the 14th if you want to look at a single week, but I think it's probably better to look at a full 2 weeks. And then it will bring up a wider date range, but I have to click on each individual card to see what I've been scheduled for those unique days. So you can see that across these dates of service, I'm still scheduled for the same 1 hour every day. If that is not how you want your time to be scheduled, because you don't work the same amount of time every day, we can change that. We just need to get that information from you. Again, if you are a living caregiver and you see PCS, EVV, T1019, you will have to clock in and out. We want to update that service to be the EVV exempt service so that you are not required to clock in and out. Again, that is only for caregivers who live in the same home with their client. Okay. This is really critical, and we want you guys to do this weekend. Let us know as soon as possible so that we can get this updated. And when you come and start working and jump in OnTarget on Monday, we're going to have as much of this set up and clean for you as possible. But again, we need you to help us understand. So if you do have edits that you need us to make because either the service should be exempt or because this is not the right distribution of time, here's what I need you to do. I want you to send an email. I'll show you this email address. To procareunlimited@aboundhealth.com. Okay. This email address is the hub for our command center. We have a whole army of people getting these emails, helping triage information, and given the volume of people that are going live on Monday, it will be the fastest way for us to get this corrected for you. So I want you to email this email address, and in that email, you need to explain your name, your client name, what the service should be if you are listed with the EVV service and you think it should be exempt, and then also, or what the schedule should reflect. So we don't need to know that every Monday you're going to start at 4 p.m. We need to know how many hours you want to provide on which days of the week. So we will only load in the duration, and you can work with your client to decide if that's in the morning or the afternoon or the evening, whatever time makes sense for you. But if, for example, the client I just showed you had 7 hours a week, maybe I want to do 3 hours on Monday and 4 hours on Friday, we need you to tell us those days and those durations that you want us to modify on the schedule. Okay, we are super excited. Remember, this is the last paper timesheet that you will ever turn in. Starting on Monday, all of this will live in OnTarget, your notes, your time clocks, your schedules, and your timesheets. Let us know if you have questions. Again, procareunlimited@aboundhealth.com is the best way to get assistance in the next few weeks, especially as we are migrating a lot of folks to this new platform. Thanks so much.